I'm Bruce Davidson. I work at the Oregon Military Department. When I was in Iraq, because of the burning oil fields, the pipelines exploding, and all the burning of the trash and the burn pits that they ran on the base, I ended up with pneumonia and lung infections, and I got scarred lungs, and now I have COPD, congestive pulmonary disorder, and I never smoked. I used to run and hike and all that stuff, but now my lung capacity is severely limited, so a lot of those activities are just off the table. So you can make a lot more money doing computers in the private sector than you can in the public sector. And a couple things happened that made the public sector so much better for me. Number one, as a single parent, I had 3 boys, all in the house, all 12 months apart. We timed everything beautifully that way. So 3 boys growing, and in the public sector, you have a job, you know where your job is, you know what you're doing, and you have some stability. And more importantly, I had good health care for my kids and retirement benefits. In the private sector, you can make more money, but a lot of it's contract. Most of it's contract, as a matter of fact. So if you work for Microsoft, you're more likely to be a contractor than a full-time employee. You don't know when the contracts are going to end. You don't know what your benefits are going to be, and you don't know what you're going to be doing in 6 months. And if you're trying to be a single parent with 3 boys in the house, having a public job made a lot of sense to me. But I probably made 20%, 30% less than I would have if I'd gone somewhere else. And I had friends who were making over $100,000 a year doing the same stuff I was doing. The state of Oregon, with their public employees, offered a retirement package, which was, to me, a huge benefit, because I looked at my father and the fact that he got to the end of his life and didn't have any money and was basically a ward of the state. We did the best for him, but it was really difficult. So I made a decision that I was going to work for the state of Oregon because they were going to give me a good pension and they were going to give me good health care benefits. So I took less money and I penciled it all out and went with my small military retirement, which isn't very much, and the Social Security, and whatever I could scrape up with savings and PERS. I would not be a burden on my children. I would have dignity in my retirement, and I would be able to live a life that provided some value to myself. But more importantly, I wasn't going to be a burden on the state, and I wasn't going to be on welfare, and I wasn't going to be in some sort of position where the state had to take care of me or my kids had to try and figure it out. And I was going to be a burden on them, and I put effort into that. And if the state decides they don't want to do that, they decide to break their deal, to not have honor, then they're not breaking just their deal with me, they're breaking the deal with my kids, they're breaking the deal with the whole society, because we made a deal. I made a deal to come to work for the state and make a wage, and they made a deal to give me my salary and a retirement. Now, I'm a man of my word. I joined the military when they said you have to go to Iraq. I went, okay, I will go to Iraq and do my job. I think the state has to do the same thing. Those people stand up and they swear an oath at the legislature, and the governor swears an oath, and they all negotiate, and they all make a deal, and they vote, and they have an obligation to fulfill their deal. That's how I feel about it.